A very warm welcome to all of you to Ayurvedic Healing and Beyond podcast. And this is your host, Dr. Vignesh Devraj. And in today's episode, I'm going to discuss about the concept of Āma in Ayurveda. The word Āma, if you look at it, it has two phonetical sounds, A and Ma. Like the word A, it's like negate or cancel. What is the next word? Like the word for health, there is this word called Arogya. Actually, Arogya is A means to negate Roga. And that is Arogya, means a state where my disease is not present. That is a very indirect method of saying you are healthy. That's the word Arogya, means Roga is negated so that you are without any disease at your best stage. Same way, if you look at the word Āma, the word Ma means in Sanskrit, the word Ma is associated with the source, or even the word mother, me, in English, me, mine. All this comes from the Makaranta, like where the word Ma stands for. And Ama means somewhere that which is not you. So let's say I consume a food, and this food is supposed to break down and integrate with my body. Now, let's say I'm talking to someone and I'm gathering some information. And this information, if it has to become conducive and part of me. If something about what I'm consuming, if it cannot get integrated and become me, and if it struggles to integrate with me, now that is what is Ama in a very layman's language. Now, we can look at it in a physical point of view. How does Ama symptoms come? One of my teacher, Dr. Sahadevan, he used to always say, there is no pain without Ama. Ama and pain are like the fire and the smoke. Like the smoke is the pain and Ama is the fire. So treating of Ama is considered one of the most priority works of an Ayurvedic physician. Like we have the word Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So the bad Kapha is what we call Ama. And one of the qualities of Ama, where does Ama come from? When your digestion becomes weak due to your unhealthy lifestyle, due to your deprived sleep, and when you consume food that are very difficult to digest, and when all of this come together and you continue this over a period of time, then a lot of undigestion or indigested food particles can get stuck in your body, or not stuck, stay longer in your body. Now, staying longer in your body that is not useful can lead to a lot of blocks in the natural flow of energy. Even the word, if you look at the word for pain in Sanskrit, it is ruk. And if you look at the etymology of the word ruk, means something that which blocks the natural flow of energy. It's like a traffic block. The moment there is a traffic block, it creates a lot of havoc. If there is somebody who needs to reach the destination on time, because of the traffic block, they get stuck. So one of the symptoms of Ama is the flow of energy slows down or gets stuck to such an extent that it can lead to pain or disease. So it's very difficult to find a disease without Ama. It's very difficult to find a pain without Ama. The more the Ama in your system, lower the energy, lower the metabolism, and highly prone you are to get disease. And it also impacts your immune system. So this is just a basic understanding of what Ama is. Now, where all will we see Ama as? One is when people have very whitish coating in their tongue. This can be one. But please don't, now listening to this, just don't go to the mirror and see if oh my God, my tongue is full of coating and what is this? There could be other reasons as well, but consult a good healthcare professional so that you'll get the right advice. And sometimes when people struggle, that they have to go to the toilet immediately. They are not able to hold. Their ability to hold and go, and when it is like uncontrollable, this is also a sign of Ama. And if they are not taking any medications or supplements, and depending on the kind of food and beverages that they consume, and if the urine is very turbid in nature, and this is also Ama. Like especially in patients with diabetes, when they pee, it is quite frothy in nature. That's because of the high glucose levels or blood sugar levels. This leads to problems with that. So this is again Ama in the body. So it's a very broad spectrum to analyze this. Now, when you see patients who have puffiness in their face or there's a lot of water retention, this is again Ama. Now, where does this all come from? Ama is always a sign when our body goes out of its rhythm and routine, or something that, and if it is chewing, like the word, you are chewing more than what you can in many areas. When your sleep gets deprived, when you consume food that are very difficult to process in your digestion, or when you overeat, or when you eat very unhealthy in the wrong manner, or when you get stressed, all these can lead to Ama in your system. Sometimes puffiness need not be on the face, also on the body. People feel I'm having a lot of high water retention. And sometimes people say I feel bloated. It's also Ama can cause to that. And if you look at the blood work, high levels of triglycerides, high levels of lipid profile, this is another Ama because it creates a plaque. One of the symptoms or the qualities of Ama, it is very sticky in nature. So if it is very sticky in nature, it's very difficult for the body to get the natural flow because it gets stuck. Stickiness leads to stuck. It leads to a state of being stuck. So like that, if the person feels stuck in his life, more Ama in their mind and body. So that's why being unstuck is a way to eliminate, and that's why also in Ayurveda we have this word called Niramaya. The purpose of every treatment is to create a stage where Ama is minimized, eliminated, or as much. But at the same time, there is a sutra in Ayurvedic textbooks which says to eliminate complete Ama is impossible. You will always have some percentage of Ama in your system. But the point is, when it goes beyond a certain level, that is when people start feeling it as a disease. But to a little amount, the body can tolerate certain amount of things that are not integrating with it. But it goes beyond a certain level. That is when it starts leading problems in the body. So in the gut, one of the therapies is there are medicines or herbs that we call it as deepena pachana. Deepena pachana means, for example, one of the best deepena pachana is ginger, pepper, because ginger and pepper are very hot in potency, and this helps to digest, improves your digestion, and you see that your hunger gets better. When Ama is more, some people talk about my digestion is not good, I feel not hungry at all, and sometimes it can lead to Vishamagni. Vishamagni means erratic cravings, like suddenly they feel I don't feel hungry at all, and then suddenly they have a hunger bout that comes and it ends up like a craving. So there are fantastic therapies to deal with this in Ayurveda. The most powerful therapy to minimize the Ama load or the mucus load in the body, that is Panchakarma. If we have to rephrase what is Panchakarma, Panchakarma is a therapy to minimize the excess Ama in different parts of your body. If it is too much in your upper respiratory tract, people tend to have high mucus load, they tend to snore, they have blocked nose, or they have different allergies that shows up. And if they have it in their belly fat, it leads to poor digestion. If they have it as a visceral fat, and if it is excess, this have other issues in their body's metabolism and also their liver functions. So Panchakarma is one way to minimize this excess Ama in their body. Now, one of my teacher, Dr. Raghavan Tirumalapad, he used to say, the concept of Agni, it is the most powerful antidote for excess Ama in the body. And he says that first line of treatment in most of the diseases is Āma Pachana. Āma Pachana means digesting those undigested parts of your body, undigested food particles in your body. Because once you get that, then the body will find its way. Because you're just letting out the things that are stuck inside the system or that is not integrating with the system. So this is why Ama, and another teacher of mine, Dr. L. Mahadevan, he used to have a phenomenal understanding of Ama, and he used to say, the Western medical word that we use in physiology in the pathology called free radicals. Free radicals are like toxins that leads to many complicated disease or even terminal disease. This free radicals is an Ama. And what we do to eliminate the free radicals, we also call it antioxidants. And this Āma Pachana, or something that helps to improve the body's vitality, it's also called as this antioxidants that happens. So this is a brief understanding of what is Ama, what are the symptoms that can show up. If there is a pain, unless you get bruised or hit, But if there is a pain because of sedentary lifestyle, some people talk about, oh, I'm not moving much, but still, I don't know, I keep getting pain in different parts of the body. This is also because there is ama built up in your system. And then treating that is changing your lifestyle, improving your food eating, and taking some Ayurvedic medications according to your situation, and maybe doing a Panchakarma required where it is. All of these are methods to minimize your ama. And when you live a life that you don't accumulate so much of ama, that means you're living quite healthy. But if you're living a life where you end up building a lot of ama, accumulating a lot of ama, in the long run, this can lead to a lot of terrible diseases, which could even lead to problems that are quite difficult to deal with later on. That's why concept of ama is very unique, and it gives a beautiful lens to treat a patient.